Good.
Setting up YouTube live. Now I think we got it.
Getting there?
You didn't text me back to say we were good, but
Looks like we're
it
live.
looks like we're up and running.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think so.
all right. We'll call the meeting to order at 6:03 PM. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Jay Foskey,
Here.
Frank Rubbish,
Here.
Dave Marcelletti,
Here.
Kate Schrank here, Ken Spicer.
Here.
Okay. Motion to approve our agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Do I have a second?
I'd like to make a motion to
Okay,
not approve the agenda.
okay, why is that?
I'd like to remove H1.
Each one. Oh, well, that's what we're here to do. Yeah. Yeah, that's, we talked about this last time too.
We did, and we talked about talking to Tasha.
Does anybody want to make a second motion? First of all, then we'll talk about it.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll second the motion.
Okay. So we're gonna discuss it. Okay. Go ahead, you go.
so hang on, this is a motion to disapprove the agenda?
Old business. He doesn't want to go through the zoning regulations.
Okay. Wait, first. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Well, we did talk about not using AI. We had a big discussion on that more than one time. And the last one, we were talking, having Tasha help, or having Tasha do it. And she wasn't here at that time. She wasn't present.
Mhm.
And we were gonna hold off on this until Tasha was here.
That's not what the minutes say. Here's what the minutes say that that are coming up. Let me just read them for you, just to refresh everybody's. Okay, under the minutes, which we have yet to approve. We had a discussion on the use of AI to review the zoning ordinance. A significant portion of the meeting focused on how best to approach updates to the township zoning ordinance. Several members expressed skepticism about relying on AI to revise the ordinance, emphasizing the importance of targeted updates to specific problematic sections instead of a comprehensive AI-driven rewrite. The commission agreed that expertise from township staff, particularly Tasha, and consultants, Williams and Works, is valuable for identifying necessary changes. The idea is to use AI as a clarity check rather than as an author of ordinance language. And you'll see tonight, that's what I've done. Are there any other questions or comments from the board or the commission?
Well, in section 7B at the bottom, it said the commission agreed that the experience from the township staff, particularly Tasha and consultant William, is valuable in identifying the necessary changes.
Yep.
Well, we didn't do it on this, what we're doing right now.
And if you go back in history, it even says that we're gonna rely on Tasha. She has a list that we're gonna try to work on and get that done before we got deeply into these sections, if I remember right. Is that not true?
She was gonna.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, she was gonna prioritize this, that's what we were talking.
Is that your understanding?
I wasn't here at the last meeting.
But the one before that,
I know that we were working on the districts and we worked on
Mhm.
the intent and then the uses. Or I think we started with the uses and then we went to the intent.
And
And
then we
we're
had, I'm sorry, but
now we're kind of here again, and I don't think we made any decisions on the language for the intent of each of the districts and or went through the uses or the special uses to figure out which ones you want or don't. I
So,
don't think
so
those have been decided yet.
that's right. And you and I spoke this week by phone as well. And, so here's what I understand. That we paid $2,500 to Williams and Works to assess our zoning ordinance. I have that document with me. Their recommendation was it's so disorganized and there's so many mistakes, we just need to reorganize it and redo it. We've talked about that pretty much every meeting, that is their conclusion. So then what do? It's $25,000 if Williams and Works does it for us and or Tasha and starts over. And then we had this discussion, every time we have a discussion about the use of AI, and last month, we had another discussion about it. We came to this understanding that we use it as a tool to understand when there's problems in our ordinance. And as we went through the intent language at last month's meeting, you know, it was helpful. I mean, you guys were able to see, I think, where there were a lot of issues with our language and how confusing it was. In fact, we even pointed out, you know, a gap in RO, you know, what do we do with properties that are less than 8760 square feet, but you know, more than 12. So tonight, I'm set up to do the same thing. We were going to finish section 3, if we can. Area and use, primary uses, special uses, and accessory uses. And I do have an AI document for each provision, it's actually a new tool I found. I think you're gonna love it, where I can actually ask it to show me where the language is consistent or inconsistent. And I'll let you decide for yourself if you like this new tool, but I think you'll find it's helpful. We're just looking at tonight's at our actual zoning language. As we do that, I think you'll be surprised how many issues there are.
You know, I'm looking back at the May 2025 meeting minutes, and it says the zoning administrator's recommendation for changes to the zoning ordinance were reviewed and all the members are agreeable in making text amendment changes to the zoning ordinance.
That was a setback, probably.
She had a list of about 10. Was that right? 10?
Yeah, I was.
It was a list of things that would make her job much easier, and we all agreed that we
Yep.
need to service her and make her job easier. And then if you go to June, we actually allude to that again. That the zoning cleanup confusion on setbacks in the zoning ordinance, the zoning administration discussed making non-substantial changes to setback requirements to make it easier for the public to identify that, and that the
Yep.
ZA will be providing recommendations for consideration by the PC.
Yep, so when we get to the sections that Tasha wants to address, we will address it, but we did never agree to pick and choose, and we have agreed on multiple occasions to go through the whole ordinance because we don't necessarily know it.
No,
And,
actually,
excuse
I
me,
didn't
if
agree
I could
with
just finish my point.
continue.
We have agreed to do this. This is what the main job of the planning commission is to do the zoning ordinance. We had this very conversation last month. So, if you want to engage with Tasha while she's here and ask her what it would cost us, you know, for her to do the whole thing, let me know.
I would not be able to provide that.
But why don't we ask Tasha,
There she
does the
is.
whole thing really need to be done?
Um,
I mean, bits and pieces. Let's
Did you
go
read the
through it.
Williams and Works analysis?
so the zoning ordinance has already been rewritten. There is a draft of the already rewritten zoning ordinance from when I was a zoning administrator before. We already went through the ordinance and we already have a draft.
But you didn't approve it.
So that draft needed to then, the planning commission started reviewing that particular draft.
Not this planning commission.
The previous planning
Two-
commission.
two
Tasha,
previous-
let me ask you,
And that-
what was that draft ready? And you agree with everything in that draft?
No, absolutely not.
You don't agree with everything in the draft that we have, or the one that they
No.
made?
There were some things that needed to be corrected. Cause
Are they complicated ones
I don't
or
think so.
simple?
Okay, all right, I'm gonna do a point of order right now. We have an agenda, I'm gonna ask you to, this is the only thing on our agenda tonight, if at the end of tonight, you don't like the way this is going, then we can certainly try to have another conversation, but right now, we've spent 15 minutes talking about it, and part of the problem that we're having these days is doing the work of the planning commission and not getting off track. So, do I have your permission to move
Can
ahead?
we take a vote on this at the end?
Sure, yeah,
I mean, because we've been pushing this around a lot and what she says.
The agenda.
yeah, we're just trying to get through the agenda. We need an,
The approval or not approval of the agenda, so.
so may I, can we move ahead or do we need to we had a motion and a second. I'd like to move ahead to approve the agenda as it is. If you want to add a point at the end of the meeting to take another vote on whether how you want to move forward. I'm open to that.
I think that's advisable.
What do you
For
think
sure.
about that? That's our business tonight, is to do that.
Okay, so I will give you my point of view.
Okay.
I've been sitting in this chair a lot of years
Mhm.
and I've seen this. I've seen like 3 or 4 different planning commissions go through this whole procedure over and over and over again. And I thought we had finally decided just to let Tasha change a few things that are real egregious and need to be done like right now.
Yeah.
And not try to do the whole planning, the whole
No,
thing.
no, that's why we hired Williams and Works in the first place, just to refresh your memory. That's why
So-
we hired them, because we knew it was a mess. And have you, and I would advise you all to read it.
And
Yeah,
could I say that,
Yeah.
could we just consider, I mean, whether came from AI or not, just, it did, but it's almost like this is another outside advice.
Mhm.
This is like somebody, like we went to Williams and Works and say, hey,
Mhm.
what do you think about this?
Mhm.
And so what I see us doing tonight is going through and just looking at these recommendations in coordination with the existing zoning ordinance and just seeing, okay, does this have anything of merit to tell us?
Mhm.
And at least just giving it to time to go through this.
we're not making any
We're
decisions.
not making it, we're not
Mm.
changing anything. It's
Mm-mm.
almost like just looking at, we're reading this almost like, just like the Williams and Works.
Exactly.
It's a guide to somebody else that knows this to help us point out what we should look at. And we don't have to do this after today. But she's prepared it all, so why don't we just go through and see what it says? See what we can learn from it.
How different is this from what I spent hours reviewing?
It's not different at all.
Is the same stuff?
Yeah, it's our current ordinance.
Well, you gave me the current ordinance.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So the
I gave
stuff
you,
I have in here is different.
I don't know what you have.
I have what you sent out first.
Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, it's in there. And then what I gave you that's,
You gave me, right, look
yeah,
at,
It's from the
just to be,
zoning board.
okay, all right, so let's get through the agenda
This is
first.
from-
We haven't, all right, Ken, point of order. Once again. We're 6:15 and we're gonna have a meeting. And the agenda is in the right order of things. We've agreed to go through the ordinance and I've prepared it. Do we have an approval for the agenda so we can move forward? And we can talk at the end of the meeting if you'd like to about how it went and how you want to go forward. Do you guys want to pay someone to do this? I have other things to do with my life. But I did prepare and I think you're gonna find it helpful, just like you did last month. I thought it was very helpful, the conversations that we had last month on intent. Do I have a
I mean,
motion to approve the
well-
agenda?
I think maybe Tasha we could pay Tasha now to read this, what you just got here.
Okay,
No, I mean, she's a professional.
I think we need to approve the agenda. We're-
thank you, Tasha.
That's what we're doing right now.
Thank you.
Approve
So-
The agenda as written.
So what happens to this motion to disapprove the agenda?
We didn't vote on it.
Um,
We had a discussion. We had a motion and we've been discussing it.
Okay, do we need to vote on that?
Do we need to?
Well, there was a second discussion, so there does need to be a vote, correct?
Okay, there does
Okay.
need to be a vote.
All right. A decision,
So what happens when you disapprove the agenda? You have to propose something else
Pretty done for
instead.
tonight, I guess.
Then you.
I guess
then-
we'll go home.
Then you propose an affirmative one.
Okay,
So if the motion fails, then you then propose a new motion for the approval.
So at this point, it's just to remove H1, correct? Am I
That's the
correct?
motion that's on the floor.
Mhm.
So now you need to vote.
Jay,
I would say no.
Frank,
Yeah,
I think, before you make a motion, the motion is supposed to be read back.
Go ahead.
And know who made the motion and who seconded it.
Okay, so Frank made a motion to disapprove the agenda to remove section H1 and Dave seconded it.
Mhm.
Are we voting?
I guess we are,
I would say no.
right?
yeah,
No,
Yes. We should remove H1.
Because I got a point in order on me, I'm gonna vote that, we remove, H1.
You're gonna vote yes?
I'm voting that we remove H1, whatever.
so
Yes.
the
Well, that's a
planning
yes.
commission does not want to do the work of reviewing the zoning ordinance, even though that is our
That's-
job.
That's not a true statement.
What is a true statement? From
True
your-
statement is that I have read this and I have actually done
And I'm,
my duty here to do that, but
And I-
if we're gonna be throwing out point of orders all the time, we probably ought to wait and,
we're gonna throw out point of orders when we can't stay on track, and we've spent almost 20 minutes trying to approve
Okay.
an agenda.
well, we gotta vote, move on.
Okay. Next up, approval of the minutes from the last meeting. We have a motion to approve those.
Ken, did you have a change to the last minute, to the last month's meeting?
March 11th.
Well, I have-
Or was that, or was that? the-
I have an OMA violation, with the meeting minutes. You have to identify all the members that are present and absent by position and name.
Here we go. Okay,
So,
I think last meeting I asked that, we take some of the Parks and Recreations, the committee type stuff.
Mhm.
And move those to comments.
I've done that.
Those are in comments on this one?
That's exactly how I sent the agenda up this week for you. You'll see at the very end, I had chair report and I've got several things in there.
So. Was that committee, generated by the planning commission?
Sort of. I mean, from the dais, we
Like
asked,
meeting minutes where there's approval of the members that are on there, or?
no, we haven't done anything that official. It's a
You're
citizens
not that
committee.
far into it, is this?
Excuse me, it's a citizens committee and I offered that people join it from the dais and I also put it on Facebook. We've had 3 members, one of whom came to present the drawing recently. You're well aware of it. I've reported each and every month. You're well aware of where we are on the planning, on the Parks and Recreation Committee.
I really don't like you interrupting me all the time.
Is there something else
Uh,
on the
It
minutes?
ain't worth it with you.
Okay. Anything else on the minutes? Then a motion to approve them?
Yeah, I'm not really sure I understand this, Ken, here. Is it,
So it's roll call, you have to actually put the names.
oh, the names, okay,
So
so,
PC members in the tent, you have to actually put their names in.
okay,
You have to
okay,
put their position, chairman.
okay, I can do
Secretary.
that. So, do we have a motion to approve the, last month's meeting minutes with the changes, with the change of adding the members' names?
I'll motion.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No. I didn't get all my comments.
It was just a motion. You want to repeat your motion?
Okay, so I'm making a motion to approve the minutes from the March meeting. With the changes identified by Ken being adding the, names of the people under roll call.
I'm voting no based on the fact I was not able to get all my comments in.
Did you
I
have
got
some more
interrupted.
comments?
Wait, your comments in tonight or in the meeting?
You have more comments on the minutes?
On the meeting minutes,
Okay, what else do you have?
when you talked about the history and evolution of the residential resorts, you did not include the 1987 ordinance that was referenced during that, and you didn't, identify that there was a,
Hang on,
zoning
Ken.
board of appeals.
Oh, hang on, Ken, what section is
It'll
that?
be on
And this one,
E,
wait, this one's numbers, not letters.
it's
7D,
on the last page.
what is this? Ken, which one?
EG5, discussion of resolution such and such, and it says the history and evolution of the residential resort use the township ordinance. What I'm trying to document there, or what I was trying to document there, is that there's a 1987 ordinance.
Okay, I can definitely put that in, but I'm just not seeing where it is. What's
The
the,
history and evolution of residential and resort related uses in the township ordinances.
is that under old business 7?
It's G5E,
Yep, it's 7E as in Edward,
Okay, 7E,
and then it says parentheses G5,
G5, discussion of resolution. Okay, so,
and then
I, yeah,
4 paragraphs down, it says the history and evolution.
of residential and resort related
Yep,
uses in township ordinances.
yeah, that's where he's referring to.
Okay, and what are you saying is missing from there?
there's a 1987 ordinance that revised R2 to be the same as R1. I just want you to recognize that there's a 1987 ordinance,
Okay,
and the 1987 ordinance was based on a zoning board of appeals where someone tried to use resort activities and enterprises on Saddle Lake, and it was denied, and then they immediately changed the zoning ordinance.
okay.
okay,
That has nothing to do with the ordinance today.
Has nothing to do with that, but that makes the
Okay.
meeting minutes correct.
okay.
Do you have any other
Second thing I
comments?
want corrected is that numerous times I'm hearing that I live on Saddle Lake. And I actually live off the lake. I do not have lake frontage with my main house. I will say that I have 3 parcels of land that are on the lake, maybe 4 parcels.
Is there anything else?
So
Is there anything else on the minutes?
just
Oh.
somehow that ought to be corrected because everyone.
Where is it correct?
Ken, say something about the 1987 ordinance again. 1987 ordinance, what did it do? It
It
changed the
changed
zoning?
the R2 district permitted and special use to be the same as R1 permitted and special uses.
Okay. I do remember you talking about that last meeting. Okay, and then the other thing? Sorry, what you were just talking about?
At that meeting, someone said I lived on the lake and I live off the lake.
Okay,
I own property on the lake, but I live off the lake.
and that's under public comment, what?
That was part of. I think that happened in the
Was it-
EG5 section. No,
Under public comment, we have multiple residents during public comment expressed concern regarding the procedure by which short-term rental.
you opened it up to public comment, didn't you?
I'm trying to just get the minutes approved, sir. I'm trying to figure out where your comment fits in. Can you help me out? I think Jay's trying to figure it out
I
too.
think it was under public comment where somebody said, basically they didn't single you out. They said a lot of board members live on the lake and are treating it like their person, like they have a conflict of interest.
Yeah, here it is. Here's the
They
line.
specifically stated my name.
Oh, they.
Oh, that's the letter from the attorney. It's not in the minutes. In the minutes, it says Janice Havas concurred with Amanda on the underhanded nature of this process and also spoke in favor of regulating STRs instead of banning. She also criticized PC members who live on the lakes for acting in their own self-interest instead of representing the residents of the township as a whole.
I don't think there's any board member that lives on the lake.
I asked Frank during the meeting, he said he did.
I have property on the lake.
Okay.
Well, that's
I don't-
public comment. Someone
Yeah.
said that, and that's what they said.
That's
So
what they said, we're
write
just-
In the minutes, what that person
Yeah.
said, so
Yeah.
if that's what that person said, then.
That's what they said.
And I'm just correcting it that I don't live on the lake.
Okay,
Okay, but that doesn't need to go into the minutes, right?
On the
There's no
record right
change
now.
to the minutes because that's just what they said.
It should go in next meeting minutes, cause I'm stating it now.
okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so in the motion to correct the changes, you would put a line that that Ken made a comment that he does not live on the lake.
He just owns properties on.
Neither does Frank.
And my
Okay.
comment too is, I
Ken,
live off
okay.
the lake.
Yeah, so there isn't
But you own parcels on
in
it.
the minutes to change.
Okay, yeah, they both don't live on the lake, but they both own parcels on the lake. Are there any other minutes changes? Or can we get a motion to approve the minutes?
And B2, G2, which is number 7, old business, it says several members expressed skepticism about relying on AI.
Mhm.
I
read
think you
that.
got more than 7.
3, that'd be several.
Well, I even heard Jay say something about that
Mhm.
we gotta watch it.
I think we've come to an understanding. First of all, it's not on the agenda. It's, the minutes are accurate. I think you're kind of nitpicking right now. I think we've been quite open about how we're moving forward on the zoning, and frankly, it's off the agenda now, so I guess we're not doing the work of the planning commission. Or we're gonna come up with $25,000 for somebody else to do it.
Or you could let Asha correct a few things. Just in kind of the normal course of business.
Okay, now we're getting off topic. I need,
Okay.
okay,
Well,
yeah,
you
so
started.
that's true. So back to
Okay.
the minutes. Can we get them approved?
Yeah, we,
One other question. I remember Dixie making a comment by commercial enterprises at that meeting, and is that in here somewhere that I'm
Probably
missing?
not. Some of the
That's
minutia,
important.
it's not that it's what we,
wait, yeah, Dixie's offered that the IRS treats home
Yep.
businesses as commercial operations, so the zoning ordinance should as well.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So would you like to make a motion to approve the minutes, please?
Wait, I thought, no, Kate already made the motion to approve the minutes.
It hasn't been seconded. You want to second it?
I'll second it.
Okay. Take a vote?
And this is a motion to approve the minutes with the changes that we just discussed.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
Frank?
Yes.
Kate? Yes?
Yes,
Yes.
All right, unanimous. Okay, we received public comments. I don't plan to read it, but it's in the record if you want to. Are there any public comments that anyone would like to make at this time?
I think you should at least state who the correspondence are from.
Yes, I can do that.
Maybe just briefly say what it is for the minutes.
There is a,
Does that apply to the planning commission?
we did get the letter. It was addressed to both of us.
There's correspondence that should be mentioned in the minutes.
We received a correspondence
Yeah, so the lawyer, yeah.
from
Kate Johnson.
Katie Johnson, on behalf of several short-term rental owners, after our last planning commission meeting, when the board passed 3-2 a resolution recommending that the board, or the commission passed a resolution recommending to the board that they ban short-term rentals except in the commercial areas. So as a result of that motion, this lawyer wrote a letter which was addressed to the planning commission as well as the board, and I've included it in the record, which is the right thing to do. Are there any?
That letter is on the township board's agenda for them to make a decision whether they want the attorney to answer or not.
Okay. Are there any other public comments? All right.
there's a public comment.
Oh, pardon me. Okay, Karen?
The tension up here is pretty noticeable and I'm hoping we can get by that. I would say I was a little nervous when there was a motion on the table that was seconded and we almost sailed by voting on it. So I'm glad you did, whether you liked the vote or not, at least you did take the vote. I was concerned about that. Just procedurally. Thank you.
Okay, so under new business, we have an agenda request from the supervisor it's not an agenda request, it's a bylaw language request to just change the language in our bylaws so that it's more generic. You can see for yourself if you guys had a chance to read it. So instead of saying that the planning commission will meet on the second Wednesday of every month at 7 PM at Township Hall, it would say the planning commission regular meeting will be held one day of the week each month at a time determined annually in the month of January, located at Township Hall, and so on. You guys had a chance to take a look at that?
Tasha, have you had a chance to look at that? The changes to the bylaws, the proposed changes?
yes, and I'm. There it
It's
is.
pretty straightforward.
Once the vote is an issue, no, it's not it. Yeah, I think your bylaws can say the first, I'm sorry, it says the first meeting of the month you'll decide, or of the year.
It says the proposed change would be the planning commission regular meeting will be held one day of the week each month at a time determined annually in the month of January, located at Township Hall.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Does anyone make a motion to approve? I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I,
Any
No.
nays? Are you a no?
No,
You-
there's
you
no
don't-
discussion on it.
Okay, what would you like to do? I think we're all
I'd
thinking
like to
straight.
recognize that, I may have written this, but it's not the document that I submitted.
Oh, well,
What's
it
that?
is. I copied and pasted.
You copied and pasted what I wrote. You did not provide the whole document that I wrote.
As a point of order, that other matter is before the board and.
Point of order, I'm shutting up.
Okay, point of
My vote is
order.
No.
Yep,
And
Point of
I
order.
object to getting point of orders.
point of
Not being
order,
allowed to talk at this meeting.
not on this issue. Point of order, there's an issue, Mr. Supervisor has asked for a change that I've asked the board to weigh in on. Okay,
So is it a secret?
you're all aware of it. Yeah, you're all aware of it. We're not gonna talk about it at the meeting, though. We'll wait to the board meeting. Okay, we are working on a motion, which has been seconded, to approve Supervisor Spicer's amendment to the bylaw to provide a generic statement about when we meet and that we'll set the time in January each year. Do we have a vote on that? Jay, you want to vote on that? We had a motion, 1 and 2. We first and seconded.
Who, sorry,
I motioned, Dave seconded, and we did a voice vote, but then Ken said no.
okay,
I
Ken
guess that's-
seconded,
No,
Dave seconded.
Kate offered the motion.
okay, Dave
Dave
seconded.
seconded, we had a voice vote, Ken said no. 4 said yes, Ken said no.
Okay.
And since we're skipping over old business, we're on to our reports for the evening. Tasha, did you have anything that you wanted to talk about?
No, being special.
Okay, Chair, Supervisor, do you want to talk about your report?
I would like to, have, our bylaws put on our next meeting for change considerations.
If the board directs us to do that, then we will. We will
Did I
not.
make a motion that the board direct this committee to review their bylaws at the next meeting?
The bylaws as a whole.
We have a bylaw question before the board right now, so we'll definitely take their direction on that. And if there's other changes, we can talk about those as well.
Why do we have to ask the board about our bylaws?
Because
What?
there are some issues going on and I'm not gonna talk about it right here in public. We're gonna wait for the board.
Sure.
Okay, you guys have already managed to kind of derail the whole meeting.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Did you read what was you received about 10 days ago? That's all.
Oh,
It's all in there.
the lawyer letter?
No, not the lawyer letter. There was a memo that I sent to all the board and all the planning commission and Tasha. And I'm asking the board to take up an issue. So that's where we're at. The role of the chair, just for the public, is we have no authority as a planning commission. We work at the will of the board. We advise the board. That's our job. The only authority the chair has, and it's statutory, that ex officio cannot be the chair. It has to be somebody else. And the whole purpose of the chair is to be a gatekeeper so that things don't come before the commission before they're ripe. If they're completely against board direction, if there's legal risk and we're not ready to handle it and it's gonna, cause public outcry, it's a procedural issue. At no point can the chair stop an issue from coming before the board if it's time. But if it's an issue that is counter to board direction or, hasn't been reviewed as it should be before it comes public, or any number of reasons like that, process oriented. That's the chair's job. So that's the job that I'm trying to play here as gatekeeper. At no point are we gonna stop discussions on an issue that otherwise is appropriately before the commission. The issue, however, about the Supervisor Spicer is alluding to is before the board, and it would be inappropriate for us to talk about it right now. However, I have asked the board to give us clear direction, so if they do, we'll talk about it and put it on the agenda.
I made a motion. Was there a second?
What was the motion? So, do you know what the motion was?
No, Ken, what was the motion? Sorry.
Motion was to review the bylaws at our next meeting.
Yeah, for what, we'll
Okay,
see.
You did do that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see what the board says about the one
So you're
issue.
gonna ask for a second. There's a motion. Don't we get a second? Or is this a dictator?
It's not a dictator, but you're in, again, it's an inappropriate request. You're aware that the issue that is before the board is a bylaw issue and we're waiting for their direction. And we will take it.
So if he made a motion, I will second the motion,
Okay,
that we discuss the bylaws at the next meeting.
what about the bylaws? Do you want to?
I don't know.
You don't
I
know.
don't know. It seems to be a secret.
We're just not.
Okay, so we're gonna vote on that? We've got a
I got
second
a first and a second. Yeah.
to review the bylaws at the next meeting.
I would add, subject to the board's direction.
I don't think you
No.
can change his motion.
No, that's
Okay.
not the motion.
Just review the bylaws at the next meeting.
Yep,
I would say yes.
okay.
Yes, that's what it takes to find out.
Subject to board's direction for me.
Are we-
On the motion, I would have to say no.
Do we have a second and are we having?
Yeah, we're
discussion?
voting
Yeah.
right now. Yeah,
We didn't have discussion?
we just did.
Well, continue.
Is there something more?
We're
you wanna
voting.
say?
All I wanna do, all I wanna say is section 8.1 of our bylaws right now. These rules may be amended at any regular or special meeting by a 2/3 vote by members present. The township board doesn't control our bylaws.
They do the one issue that's before the board. As long as we understand that the one issue before the board will, if you're trying to get it into the meeting next time because you're trying to go around the board again, I'm saying no.
Said-
Bylaws
said
generally.
board has no control.
Bylaws generally, we just changed them back in May or June, so they're not even a year old. And you're proposing a change that I think is inappropriate, and I'm asking the board to weigh in on it. I'm not aware of any other changes that need to be made in the bylaws besides the one you're requesting that's before the board.
An inappropriate thing I'm asking for, you don't wanna share with this planning commission members who actually determine what's in our.
They already know because they received the memo, and if they opened it up and read it, they already knew.
Good.
As do you,
Good.
as does the board, as does Tasha,
Good.
all out in the open. So
So,
we had a
yeah,
motion for a first and a second to add changes to the bylaws. My only point is that that's too broad if it's, because we are waiting for direction on one point from the board.
oh wait,
That's it.
it says motion to review the bylaws at the next meeting.
Right,
right? Doesn't say change
Then consider changes.
and consider changes.
Yep.
You keep changing the motion. Sorry. You have a motion, you have a second, and now you're discussing, unless you rescind the motion.
I think we're done
then you
discussing.
can then change. the-
All we have to do is read it back.
Well, what I have is a motion to review the bylaws at the next planning commission meeting. And we have a first and second, and I voted yes, Frank voted yes, Kate, no,
yes,
Dave, yes,
I mean, yes,
and Ken, yes. Okay,
Okay?
what's next?
I would like to give you an update on the park situation. So I met with Market One, which serves Van Buren County. And talked to them about our park, gave her a copy of the draft plan because it's almost done. I got comments back. They did all this for free. I got comments back on the draft plan, and I'm working on getting an ADA assessment of our current park situation and then an ADA assessment of our proposed plan. That's required in order to get the DNR report approved. So then in my conversation with Market One, they referred me to Michigan Economic Development Corporation, MEDIC, because they have a state grant that is available dollar for dollar for any money that we can raise on our own from the community. They'll meet it dollar for dollar up to $75,000. So I've started that conversation as well. In a minute, and so I've had a couple conversations on the park. I've had a conversation with respect to grant funding. I've had somebody review the 5-year draft plan, and we need to have a disability assessment done. And I've talked with the people at the Disability Network, and they gave me an invoice for $150, which is what it costs to have them come out here. I was gonna meet them on Monday here at the Township Hall, and they were gonna give us an assessment, or excuse me, an accessibility rating for the current situation and also for our proposed plan, which is necessary in order to complete the 5-year plan and get it approved. Are there any questions about that? I will tell you that, it's gonna take, so we're getting close as a committee to, finalizing the plan and getting ready for public comment. We'll do public comment this summer. I'm guessing June and July, which is a nice time to do public comment because a lot of people are in town. And then after that, we'll go through the approval process for the planning commission we'll update the draft based on public comment. Then we'll put it through an approval process in front of this commission. Then it goes to the board. Then it goes to the DNR for approval. Once I get board approval on the DNR plan, at that point, we don't have to wait for DNR approval. I can move ahead on crowdfunding with board approval for this dollar for dollar matching grant. So, in my mind, if we're doing public comment this summer and we get our commission and board approvals, maybe by early fall, then I'm submitting to the DNR and I get approval by early next year. And if we're lucky enough on the committee, on the community funding, it's a tall order. But if we're lucky enough to find $75,000 within the community and the state matches it for 75, we could get that walkway in next spring. So, and as far as the back prairie goes, we won't do any of that until we get board approval on the plan. So you can mow it or do whatever it is you
you
normally
wanna
do.
mow?
Whatever you wanna do with it, whatever you normally
I
do.
think we ought to mow it because we got a lot of trees growing up there.
So, so the work that is proposed in the parks plan wouldn't happen until next spring, because by then I should have approvals,
So I don't forget it.
okay? What else do I want there? There are no questions about the park? Okay. And then we got a blight spreadsheet, which I've updated, very little change. I've added one matter. I think I told you last month that two folks on the blight spreadsheet did receive, I'm told, citations. Did you wanna say anything about it? I just keep the spreadsheet. I don't drive it. I just keep it and update it.
I plan on putting concrete down between the gazebo and the parking lot, this spring sometime. I haven't told that to the board yet, but we talked about it a couple years ago, putting a path in there with, something on it. I'm gonna send you a little sketch of what I'm looking at to make sure that concrete in that area is not gonna affect your stuff.
Thank you.
The second thing is I'm gonna put concrete over here and a pad for the commodities. I might even put a roof over that if the board can approve of the roof over that. So that, we don't have somebody standing out in the cold.
Like food, the food truck or something,
Yeah,
What's that?
the commodities, like you.
Commodities, yeah, they need something there and I get some tarps for in the winter time, get tarp into the side so that they don't get.
Like the community comes and fills their baskets.
I got some volunteers that are gonna help me, so I haven't told them yet.
so I'm glad that you're involving me in that, Ken. So if it's possible to have it to me by Monday, I will show it to the consultant so they can, I don't feel qualified to assess it for ADA, but these guys are.
It's gotta be 5 foot
Okay,
and then it's gotta have, room finish.
okay, all right. That would be great. If you could hand it to me, I'll make sure they see it. All right, public comment. Yes,
I just wanted to ask whether ADA meant American with Disability Act.
it does. And also when it comes to getting this grant, the dollar for dollar grant, I'm told that it's really a higher level. It's universal access. So ADA is sort of old and even, not even minimum, they really won't give us the grant if we don't show universal access. I don't know what that means. I'm about to find out. Any other public comments? Murray?
I think, another thing about the concrete, they were planning to move that, voting box and put another, pad over there. Should it be done at the same time?
They need a ramp to get into the back door sometimes, and part of that concrete's gonna make a ramp so that we're outside of that curb and we're gonna come up and around so that they could get into the back door. We're probably gonna get an electrician to come in and put some electrical to that shed because during the elections, we have no lights back there and it gets dark in November. But that will light up the backyard where they can come out of there and get to their car.
Thank you.
Karen?
I'd just like to request a copy of the current PC bylaws. I think you mentioned they got updated May or June or something. I just want to know the starting point.
Last year, yes.
Yep, the ramp that we're talking about, I think it was requested by our commodities person, which is 8 of the 4. Be sure to coordinate with her, I guess I would say. And I do recall from years ago, the commodities has never been and shouldn't be a township function. So just make sure that making a spot for her doesn't become commodities isn't ours. There were legal liability reasons that the attorney at the time recommended we not have that be a township program. So I'm just mentioning that because it's all new people.
Plus,
You put a sign up.
Plus, I thought we talked about when Ada came here a number of months ago, and she was upset because sometimes she has to work outside and so on. We talked about possibly using facility 1. And the fire department was open to it. Why wouldn't we do that instead of adding concrete pad? If we could just open up the door and have her put the pallets right in there and so on and so forth. Do you know something I don't know?
I ran into Ada at the grocery store and she rejected that idea.
She did. Okay.
Yes.
Do you know why?
I think it had to
Parking
do
lot.
with Yeah, the size of the parking
Parking.
lot and the possibility that the fire department actually needed to get in there during the time they would be blocking it. So she said no, I mean,
Yeah.
If we had a fire, that's the well that we have to use and you gotta go in there and shut it off, turn it on.
Any other public comment? Jason?
I do. Before I do that, I just want to make sure that I didn't miss something. Did we skip over I-1, 2, and 3 because those reports were included in the packet? There wasn't any, verbal report to give today because we jumped right to your report as chair, Kate.
We asked the zoning administrator, asked our township board member, and I just talked about my
Okay.
reports.
Okay.
Did I miss anything? Has everybody said what they wanted to say?
You didn't skip something. Jason Bull, 47810 8th Avenue for my public comment. Regarding removing H1 from the agenda, I just wanted to say that it is an objective fact that our ordinances are a mess. We have our zoning administrator that has said that. She's been working on it for years. We've had an outside firm say that they're a mess. I know that personally from being on the planning commission, trying to work through our zoning ordinances. They've been in disarray for years. The closest that we got to fixing them was an incomplete draft that never made it up to the board. So I'm well familiar with trying to push this rock up the hill, but it is an old business item that's incomplete. And I think that our residents deserve to have easy to read and understandable ordinances. And it seems like tonight that the vote to remove H1 was kind of under the guise of disagreement with AI. But I just want to say this, AI is a reality and it's something that we all have to deal with. I have to deal with it in my own business, but it is a tool. And it does not take away your human brain. It cannot change the ordinances for us and it cannot vote for you. So I appreciate Kate trying to do something to move that ball forward to fix our ordinances. And I think what I see here is just using that tool to try to identify discrepancies in our ordinances so that you guys could discuss it and figure out if they need to be fixed. And so I appreciate you, Kate, for doing that. But I just want to say, you guys need to figure out a way to move this ball forward because it's been unfinished for a long time and our ordinances suck. And whether you use AI or not, or you hire Tasha or whatever, or we decide to pay $25,000, I think it needs to be done. And the last thing I want to say is, maybe this is more for Jay as secretary regarding the minutes. I don't believe that we are legally required to record every single word that is stated in a meeting in our minutes. We need to capture what we can the best. But one of the things that I think needs to be pointed out is if something needs to be corrected in the minutes, specifically, you were kind of on this track that if somebody says something in a meeting that somebody else wants to correct at the following meeting, that should be put in this meeting's minutes. Don't change last meeting's minutes to put that correction in there. You know what I mean? Because you said, hey, it was just what somebody said.
Yeah.
And I believe that to be true. You can't just go back and add like, hey, here's my comments on what that person said at a following meeting.
Right.
Put them in this meeting and say, hey, for example, Mr. Spicer suggested that this needed to be corrected, but I don't think you can go back and change the minutes for that purpose. They have to go in this meeting's minutes.
Gotcha.
I might be wrong, double check me on that, but I just be very careful with how we change the minutes.
We're
Okay.
approving the previous minutes, so you can change them.
So, but what you said tonight was not in last meeting's minutes, so you can't put it in
You
there.
don't have meeting minutes.
Hmm?
It was in the last meeting minutes.
You said you weren't a lake owner or
Yeah.
a lake resident? Okay,
No, they said I was.
I know,
yeah,
that
he
was in the
trying to
minutes.
correct someone else's public comment, but he had recorded their public comment correctly.
He did. They did accuse me of being that. And what I wanted to do is basically make sure that everyone knows that I'm not.
That should go, I agree, that's what I'm saying, it should go in tonight's minutes.
Tonight's minutes. And
Supervisor
that's what,
Spicer made a
Yep.
statement correcting.
Yep.
da, da, da,
You can
da,
put
da,
that in tonight's meeting.
yep, got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, meeting adjourned at 6:55. Ken, will you? If you're not gonna read what I was gonna work on tonight, all of you guys, if you're not gonna read what I gave you, give it back to me, please, and I'll just hang on to it for another time. If you think you'd like to read it and you're open-minded to it, then
Well,
by all means, can.
If you're giving me something directly out of the township,
For next month. Did we add at the end of the meeting?
We have no business to do, we really, if they take away the zoning, yeah, we have nothing really, unless something comes up in the next month,
Cause it was, okay, then.
yeah. Yeah,
So what's new? Just,
so,
I don't need all the.
was
old
that directly out of the township zoning ordinance we have?
yes, if you would just
I
let.
have a whole copy of that right
Yeah,
here.
but there's a little bit more that you got, so if you wanna know, I'll tell
I
you.
saw you had some other stuff in.
I am, so if you guys want me to explain to you what I gave you. You got section 3.01 area regulations, all on one page, 3.01 to 3.04, the area regulations for each residential section, and then you have an AI analysis of your area regulations right here, see? Area. And what this AI did, if you wanna listen, is I asked it to look for consistencies and inconsistencies, and it was remarkable. It was remarkable what it came up with. I'll let you decide for yourself. So for each, so
But my thing is, I'm sorry.
can you hold your thought for a minute? Let me finish the date. So we have area regulations
Right if I take
as
care.
written today with an AI overview. We have, just a minute. Uses with an AI overview. We have accessory uses, the actual ordinance and an AI overview. And we have special uses as written and an AI overview. It's so cool. Once AI has all accessory area, primary and special use all in a thread, it's the whole thing. I have AI where it analyzed all of them together. And it was remarkable, what came out with it. That's here.
But just for my, of what's going on right now,
What's going on? right
it
now?
took,
I don't remember presenting you.
I mean, we've already went through AI stuff that didn't have this one that you got now.
What's your point? I'm trying to find out a way to speak ordinance in a way that.
But we're ready to find something that, you know, was done AI and now you're finding something different. You know,
I'm really not sure and.
I mean,
I feel like you're not paying attention because
okay.
we've been pretty clear that notice that we are simply going through the ordinance, reading it through, having a discussion about where the inconsistencies are so we can learn the ordinance, because I'm pretty sure, maybe Dave knows it better than we do, but I'm pretty sure most of us don't know the ordinance very well, period. So we're literally reading through it. And the AI is a way, if you want to read it.
I do.
Looks like you're, thank you, I appreciate that. I think you'll go, wow, this makes our job a lot easier.
Mhm.
I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
And we'll decide, I don't know.
I mean, it's like, you sit down and this is, you know, put out here and we go, okay, you know. It's,
No, I think we need. to
Well,
stay-
you know, if you think you can do it better.
no, I know, I'm not saying
I'm
that.
pretty comfortable with what I put out there tonight, and I'm hoping you'll look at it. You gave me yours back, right?
Oh,
I have your list.
Will you look at it?
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that.
My book.
And just try to be open about.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't memorized all this stuff yet, but I guess I should have right off the bat.
It's
Just truly, we've been circling on this for 7 years. I've been here, I think, 7 years. We've been circling on.
I'm sure if I were in your position, I'd feel the same way, but the fact is it has to get done. It's a mess.
Every time somebody says, well, we should look at South Havens, because they have a good one. So we look at South Havens, and now we're trying to shoehorn ours into South Haven.
Well, we're not doing that. We're looking at our
So we're
ordinance.
gonna now be trying to shoehorn our ordinance into some AI version.
Oh, look and see what I gave you. What the AI did is I asked, read the area and dimensional spec and tell me where there's consistencies within our own ordinance. That's what I gave you today. It's very different than what you got last month. And I was really excited when I realized I could do this. So, I think it's actually remarkable and I think you'll like it, but maybe. And I think we can move through it this way quite nicely. I also think the hardest part of the ordinance is what I took that first. The rest of the ordinance is, you know,
That's why.
I don't think we're gonna have nearly as many issues when we get to things like administrative procedures and general use procedures and things like that, but I would say read what you got. And thank you for being open-minded. Jay, I trust you'll read it too.
Everyone says, "Well, we're the second house."
And,
You do, but-
maybe we'll find a way to move forward.
Hey, you know that meeting's over if you're deliberating and
We're not.
discussing and leading to a
We're not.
final decision. You're
Did you turn this off?
violating the OMA.
Did you turn this off?
Huh?
Is this off?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
that.
It looks
off.
like it's.
Otherwise, all your conversation will have been recorded.
She was just showing them what those papers.
I was just explaining what they have in front of them. Okay. Indeed. You take care of yourself, Ken.
But I,
Said that already.
down to read this, I'm thinking, sit here, you know, you've seen this, and it's not there.
You know, I did send you the regulations, so you had
I
them.
did, but
And what I didn't do is weigh you down with 80 pages, you know, with all of the AI, because you didn't know how we were gonna get to it. So I decided that I would just make it available for you, and then I would enter it into the record. Nothing I like,
Just start reading.
well, nothing I don't like getting an agenda that has 100 pages in it. I think some of the agendas that we get are basically minutes. So I'm trying to find a way to give you, you know, some meat that we can discuss.
Right.
And if you just watched the meeting tonight, having read the current regs, which I did give you last week, we would have been a great shape.
Well, I'm hoping that she's
Anything
gonna
else on
stay,
your mind?
she's pregnant. She's got a 6-month-old and she's pregnant.
What this
So-
issue before the board is,
Yes.
I didn't actually have time to read.
Then I
that.
say read it.
Okay,
Okay.
so I don't even know what.
Yeah, back on August 6th or April 6th, I sent a memo to all of you and the board and the planning commission, and you understand.
Well,
Okay,
everything's stopping at the township hall in South Haven. His wife does
how's it going? Dave?
master gardener,
Oh,
and she has
All good stuff?
projects.
Yeah, there's copies, I wasn't sure if
So
it was gonna be
everyone
here,
tomorrow,
so I
stop
let him.
in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hang on to it, because I think we'll get it here.
what do you think, my niece, Mandy?
What, Maggie?
Good girl.
She does a good job. I think they're hoping Ryan to do the short-term rental stuff, some of the registrations.
Yeah, well, that's good for her.
And you said when you talk earlier about, what was it, some.
I cannot have a copy of the updated bylaw.
Yeah, no problem. There were very little changes.
I don't remember what.
There was very little, they were kind of straightforward and kind of minimal. What did you do now, commissioners, like, did you read it all?
I did, and I don't know why none of them read your emails.
Oh, no. All right. But we were in a spot. And we're just, so. We're in a spot. And yeah, I need the board to wait. I'm done. And I'm not done.
Oh, I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah,
I understand.
Yeah, we're not.